Hi, boys and girls. Yesterday in writing, you got to fill in a page kind of like this, and we really talked about telling our stories in order, starting at the beginning, then going through the middle, and then the end, right? Making sure we're telling it like how it happened in order so it makes sense to our readers, just like how regular storybooks go in order of beginning, middle, and end. So we wrote out our stories yesterday, but today I want to talk to you about how good authors and good writers add special words to help the reader kind of know when everything is happening, like some time words. See, this right here says time words. So here's some good words you can use at the beginning of a story to help the reader know that this is happening in the beginning, or exactly what time of day, what time of season, what time of year is it. So you could simply start with one day, or a long time ago, or on a cold winter day. So I'm going to kind of look at Nufflebunny and see how Mo Willems started the beginning of his book. So he said, look at how he started it. One morning, not so long ago. So he started with one too. I'm going to think about my story now, and I'm going to add a time word to my beginning. Let's see, I said, I was in my bed reading. Tucker and Levi were sitting with me. Okay, I'm going to think about what time of day it was. It was night. So I think I'll say just one night. I'm going to add that up here. One night. So let's listen to how I changed my story. It used to just say, I was in my bed reading. Tucker and Levi were sitting with me. But now I added one night. So let's listen to it now. One night, I was in my bed reading. Tucker and Levi were sitting with me. Doesn't that sound better? It sounds more like a story, doesn't it? Yeah, so we can learn things from other authors. Okay, let's look in the middle. Here are some words they use for the middle. Something like after that, next, or then, or later on. Let's see if we can find some spots where Mo Willems did that in his book. Let's see. Here's maybe one. Then, before she knew it, it was time to go home. That one kind of tells time. Here we go. At 1:30 bedtime, Trixie was tucked in. That kind of tells about time. Oh, here's a really good one. But a few hours later. So that's telling us time, right? So she went to bed, but a few hours later, something happened. And here they talked about using after that, next, then, and later on. Okay, let me think about my story. Okay, so we were lying in bed reading, and Tucker and Levi were sitting with me, and Doug was laying there too. Oh, you know what? I already have a word. It's right here. Next. I already had it in my story. Next, Tucker threw the ball. It landed on my dresser. Maybe, let's see. And then it says, Doug jumped on top. I thought the mirror was going to break. I think there I'm going to need an end word. An end word could be something like lastly, in the end, finally, or at last. Let's see what Mo Willems did. So here it kind of says, it kind of ends with this, and that is how Trixie found her first best friend. So he doesn't really, he just says, and that is how. So they're kind of teaching you about how something happened. So I could try that here. And that is how Doug jumped, or that is why Doug jumped. Let me read my whole story to decide what I want to add as a time word in the end here. Did you know that good readers go back and read their writing so they can decide what to put next so that it still stays smooth? They do that. One night, I was in my bed reading. Tucker and Levi were sitting with me. Doug was lying there too. Next, Tucker threw a ball. It landed on my dresser. I think I'm going to add the word then here. Then, because I think I need another middle word. Then Doug jumped on top. I thought that the mirror was going to break. Finally or in the end? Maybe I should say after that, I thought the mirror was going to break. Or I could say, but it didn't. Or I could add something else. Finally, Doug laid back down on the bed. Maybe I'll add that. I think my story needs more to wrap it up in the end. Finally, Doug laid back down. Okay, so here's what Mrs. Kimmel is going to send to you. I'm going to send you this video, and then I'm actually just going to put this on like the student page so you can look at these time words. And then you should have written something like this at home on paper and taken a photo and sent it to me. So now I want you to add some words to the beginning, to the middle, and to the end so that your story goes in time order. And I want you to take a new picture and send it to me. Send it to me through Seesaw. I didn't really explain that. I had a few people that were kind of confused, so I'm sorry I didn't explain it very well. What I meant was that last week we tried to write a story, and like you would do it and send it to me through Seesaw, and then I would send it back, and then you would work on it, and we kept sending it back and forth, and that didn't work. But if you still have your physical paper at home and you just take a photo of it, then I don't need to send it back. Like, I just get to see what you did, right? Instead of me having to send back the paper that you write on, okay? Because the paper just stays at home. The photo just changes. So just keep sending me the photos through Seesaw, but you just change your paper. So don't rewrite everything, just add things to it, because that's what writers do. They have an original piece of paper that they start with, and as they think about things, they add and change their writing as they go. So you will have the physical paper at home, and as we change and add things, you will take photos and send them to me through Seesaw, okay? I know this is tricky. Hopefully it's going to get smoother for us with writing. This is just kind of a tricky thing to figure out, all right? So I can't wait to see you adding some time words to your story.